Hi all! So this is an absolute terrible angle for me, but I'm just going to talk to you anyway because that's more important. So since my last video, I spoke, I actually haven't posted it. So when I post this video, I'm going to post like all of them together so you'll get an idea of what I've been babbling on about. So weight loss is going well still, although I haven't actually checked my weight the last couple of days because I've been a bit naughty. I've discovered Burger King sell these chili cheese bites. Oh, they're amazing, like cheese melted and fried with little bits of like jalapenos, I think it is. Oh, amazing. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about food, but I discovered them, so I had a few bad days. I call them cheat days, but it was becoming a little more often than one day. So anyway, we're not going to get into that. Overall, still doing well with the weight. So last couple of weeks has been a little bit full on. Quite interesting, very much been in front of the camera a lot, but it's been really great, and it's been great for organ donation, I like to think. That's why I do what I do, because I enjoy sharing my story, because I think, you know, it's not every day you can hear about someone who's had double lung transplant. Obviously in my little bubble I hear about it a lot because I know a lot of people who've got CF, and I've met people at Harefield, but generally it's not, I suppose, as common. And I'm really passionate about organ donation. I don't, you know, otherwise I wouldn't do this. I love being part of my charity, being a trustee for it, and I love just everything about it. I just think it's great, and I just think if I can, you know, change one person every few days or every week or every month, if it's just that, you know, I potentially have saved someone's life. So I think, you know, every little bit helps. So if you're watching this and you haven't signed up for organ donation, sign up now. It takes 2 minutes. Right, so back to my life at the moment. I made my hair a little bit blonder, as you can see. Thought I'd go for a little bit of a change. I do want to try and go a little bit grey, but we will see how brave I get. So yeah, so I don't know if I've mentioned before, but I have actually met my donor family. I'm sure I've mentioned this. I obviously do on my blog, which is www.thesprogslife.com. And I did my whole stories on there from like the big. So my video got cut off. Anyway, start again. I do my whole transplant story on there. So basically, I've had a double lung transplant, and that was back in August 2015. I wrote a letter to my donor family about 3 months, I think it was after. Yeah, it was about just before, it was December, because I wanted to get it before Christmas, which I actually found out they didn't get it till January, which I was a bit pissed off about, to be honest. But hey ho, you know, can't get it all right. So I wrote to my donor family. I thought it was quite important to let them know how thankful I was of having a transplant, because it absolutely had changed my life for the better. And not even just for the better, it transformed my life. I could breathe for the first time, I think, ever in my life properly. Unless you've had a transplant, I don't think you'll actually be able to imagine. I mean, if you've got CF or you have any sort of lung problem all your life, until you've had a transplant, you actually won't appreciate how amazing it is, because, you know, I always thought, oh, I'll have a transplant, I'll be able to breathe a bit better. No, you can literally, like, I don't even think about breathing. Like, even now, I talk. I wouldn't be able to see that before. I'd be like coughing away. Anyway, so yeah, you know, things had been really, I mean, I was days away from dying, so I was very thankful to be alive. So yeah, I wanted to write to my family, so I did. And then, luckily, I didn't expect a reply. And to my surprise, I did get a reply in February 2016, so last year. And it was amazing. I got a lot more than I ever imagined I would get. They sent me pictures of my donor, Jill. She was a 51-year-old lady, a beautiful lady. And the family had 2 daughters, a husband and grandchildren. And now, after backwards and forwards letters, I sent another letter back of myself and my family. And then through Organ Donation Week in 2016, which was last year, I had a party before that. It was my first year anniversary. So I had a party to celebrate being well and still going well for my first year. and we had a group of all of us together. There was about, I think it was about 12, 13 of us who all had double lung transplants, heart transplants, or kidney transplants. So it was like a combined of all of us together. It was a great photo. Obviously, it was shared on the NHS and the Live Life Give Life, which is a charity I work for, website. And the girls followed the sites and put 2 and 2 together, saw my face, my name and my story, and knew it was me. So they've messaged me via Facebook, and we've been talking ever since. We get on like a house on fire. We're great company. We have such a laugh together. And we just click. It feels like we've known each other for longer than we have. I mean, we've only met... I met Natalie, the oldest daughter, just before Christmas. She's the same age as Lee. And I met Hannah a little bit before Christmas, but mainly just about 2-3 weeks ago now. On the 8th of January it was, I remember. And yeah, it's incredible how we've just connected. Anyway, so because we got on so well, we thought, you know what, it's a great story. I mean, obviously, you know, unfortunately Jill has passed away, but she's given me life. She's given not only me, but she's 4 other people. She's improved their lives and given them life as well. So that's incredible, and what a legacy to leave. So obviously being proud of their mum and me being proud of my donor, we wanted to share our story to raise awareness for organ donation, because they feel passionate about it now. They've signed all their family up, their kids even, and I obviously any chance I can promote organ donation and encourage people to sign up for, and you know, it's a positive story. I mean, it shows that something good has come from something so tragic, and you know, they say it you know, it can help the family grieve sometimes. I mean, I'm never going to replace their mum, and oh God, if they could have their mum back like that, they would, and I don't blame them. I would be exactly the same. But you know, showing the story just helps basically with promoting organ donation. It just shows, you know, when we die, unfortunately, you know, I know people have religious views, but in fact there isn't any religion that stops or says you shouldn't donate your organs, just for a little fact there. Personal choices, people believe in spiritual things and all that, which everyone's entitled to, but you know, organ donation is incredible. I mean, I would love to be able to say that when I die that I can leave or benefit someone's life. It would be incredible. I don't know if I can. I know that if I can't donate my organs because of obviously the medication that I take, I 100% have told them I want all my organs to go to science, because I just think whatever can help and improve for people in the future, amazing. They can have skin, they can have if someone wants my hair, they can have my hair. Like literally just have whatever you want, because when I'm gone, I'm gone. So yeah. So from all that, I mean, I'm babbling on and getting away from the reason why I'm actually telling you this story. So there's been a lot of organ donation, and obviously there's been a lot about the opt-out system in the news over probably the last few months. So beside that, I actually went on a show called the Derbyshire show, or Derbyshire show. I can't say her surname properly. I don't know how it goes. On BBC. So there was a lady called Tracy who had donated her kidney to a complete stranger. She'd also donated 80 pints of blood, 3 lots of sessions of donating her eggs, and she was thinking about donating part of her liver. Total strangers, completely selfless act, just wants to help people. She works in the NHS and knows a little bit about the shortage of organs and all of that kind of stuff. So she's perfectly healthy. The woman just wanted to help. So I went on the show as representing the charity about organ donation, and obviously I've had a double lung transplant, so it's just my take on things. So that was my first little. I'll add that to the video on here. I might try and do it. Yeah, I'll do it now. So I'll show you this bit. Okay, watch.
Meet one of Britain's most prolific organ donors. She's called Tracy Jolliffe. She's 50 and she's already donated a kidney, 16 eggs. You're raising your eyebrows. You're the one who did it. 16 eggs and 80 pints of blood to people she's never met. She intends to leave her brain to science and is now hoping to give away part of her liver to a person she may never meet. So let's talk to her about her motivation. Tracy's here alongside George Compton, who became a trustee for the organ donation charity Live Life Give Life after she received a double lung transplant which saved her life at 25. Right, welcome both of you. Tracy, it's been a gradual thing, I know, but it started, I think, when you signed up to donate blood and to the bone marrow register when you were 18. What evolved after that?
Well, I donated blood on a regular basis. Bone marrow, I've only been called once, but wasn't a match at the final hurdle. the organ donation, it's just been something I've always been interested in. I think if you can do something, you should.
In terms of donating your kidney, that's quite a big deal. So tell us the process.
Well, I first read about it in the news in 2010, just a few years after it became legal to donate to a stranger. And I thought about it for a while before I approached the local transplant coordinator and chatted to her at length before I started undergoing the tests.
Right, okay. And the tests involve what?
Quite a lot of blood tests. You have to have an MRI, a CT scan, a lot of kidney function tests, and you also have to go and see a psychiatrist as well to make sure that you're donating for the right reasons.
And your reasons were what?
I just thought it was a nice thing to do.
Just as simple as that?
Yeah. I don't know anyone that has kidney failure, so I can't say it's a personal story.
Right.
I know there are people waiting for transplants, and about 300 people a year die waiting for a kidney transplant, and I could do something to save one of them.
And in terms of your surgery and recovery time, how long in total?
I was in hospital for 5 days and probably about 6 weeks before I was back to full health. But obviously that's individual.
And how did your family react?
They were fine. They're used to me doing what I want to do.
Fair enough. The eggs as well, donating the eggs, that's a pretty invasive procedure.
It is. It does involve having quite a lot of injections to stimulate the egg production, and then it's a general anaesthetic at the end to recover the eggs. But you recover very quickly from that.
And in terms of, the people that you are donating to, you don't know any of them?
No, it's all done anonymously. No idea.
Complete strangers?
Yeah.
Do you want to? Are you curious? Would you like to find out? I mean, it's not your call as it happens because of the law.
It's not
a
an
recipient
option.
could make an effort to get in touch with
Yes,
you, but
they
as a
could.
donor, you can't.
Yeah. I did think about it. In some ways, it would be nice. It would be nice to put a face to what I've done. And then I thought, well, what if I meet them and I don't like them?
Oh.
So I think it's probably safest not to.
Yeah.
Not to
They'd be
ever know.
so grateful to you. You're bound to fall in love with them. Possibly. George, you were diagnosed with cystic fibrosis as a baby.
Yeah.
And went on the organ transplant list for a second time in 2014.
Yeah.
What does it feel like from your point of view to have your life saved by a complete stranger?
Oh, it's incredible. I mean, I've never experienced my life this well. Growing up, I've always been out of hospital with chest infections. I've never been able to breathe properly, or what I can imagine now is it breathing properly. It's incredible. It really is the gift of life. I've been given a second chance, and I'm making the most of it and doing what I can.
Yeah. How in need of the lung transplant were you?
Sorry.
How in need of the transplant were you?
I was days away from dying. It was my fourth call that everything went ahead. I was in hospital, unable to leave. I was on oxygen, had an invasive mask to help me breathe. I was bedbound, I couldn't even wash, I couldn't do anything, I could barely eat for myself. Things had really got as worse as they could at that time.
This email from Roger: I donated a kidney to a stranger nearly 2 years ago. I don't know who got it, but I hope they're doing well. I then looked to see if I could help some other way. That was when I found out about organ donations. During the run of tests over an 18-month period, different people at the hospitals kept asking me why. I didn't have an answer at first. Really, it may have been for a variety of reasons. I think the simplest answer is that I enjoy helping others. You're now a trustee of Live Life, Give Life.
I am.
You want to encourage others
Yeah.
to donate organs.
Yes.
Not necessarily while they're alive, although that is possible, as we know.
I think what Tracy's done is incredible. I mean, we are encouraging people to sign up for organ donation, talk to their families, which is the most important thing.
Yeah.
There's even when people sign up for organ donation, there's 48% of families still refuse. That's why it's so important that we need to get people to talk to everyone and then member of their family, just so they're aware of their decision. Organ donation is so special. I mean, obviously from my experience, it's life-changing, and to be able to give someone that opportunity is when you're no longer here or still alive, like Tracy, is incredible. So we really like to promote it and get the word out there and just see where we go.
Thank you both very much for coming on the program. Thank you, George.
Thank
you,
you.
Tracy. Nice to meet you both. Thank you.
Now you've watched my little Victoria Derbyshire show. I look well fat in it. I know I look rough today, but I've got no makeup on. So yeah, so I did that, and then we so I did that for organ donation. Then what happened? Oh yes, then we decided to share our story in the media, and we've been looked after by this company, And then we, so on Saturday just gone, we went down, Lee drove me down there to Hatherley in Devon, where they come from. Beautiful little town. Really just, it's only called a town because it has a market, but it's so small, little village, beautiful place. Excuse me. And on 9, we stayed in this beautiful hotel called the Georgian, giving you a little shout out there. Beautiful, kind of like boutique kind of hotel. It had a 4-poster bed. I'll try and add some photos if I can to this video. And it was just stunning, beautiful. And then it had like a big Victorian bath in like at the end of the room bit, and it always had a walk-in shower and the other separate bit and toilet and all that lot, and had a balcony. It was just gorgeous, and it was really, the bed was so comfortable, everything was just a really good night. We had a beautiful breakfast the next day. We had to get up really early, and then we had to be at Hannah's, the older daughter, not Hannah, Natalie, the older daughter's house at 9:30 in the morning to do some filming, which was hilarious. We could not stop laughing. And then we went to like this field little bit where they did like photos, and us like walking along together, like strapping our stuff, and we were just giggling the whole time. I mean, we've got some great photos from it because we were just having such a laugh, and just like it was not natural to us, so we were just like taking the mick out of it. It was really funny. Anyway, so yeah, we did that, and then literally that was Sunday, and then Monday it was a quick turnaround. They featured us in the Daily Mirror, which went big. Everyone was really interested in the story. I mean, it's a great story. I mean, it showed the relationship between us is great, and obviously knowing that their mum saved my life, and it's amazing. Yeah, and then so that morning though, I'd planned to go with so I'm a trustee for the charity Live Life Give Life. So one of my advocates, Kim Hodge, she was featuring on the Mathew Wright show because she was on there before her transplant, talking about organ donation, and then my alarm went off. So she dipped massively after being on the Mathew Wright show the first time. So then she had an emergency, needed a transplant like ASAP. So she had 2 false alarms and then I think it was on the 3rd time she got her transplant. Anyway, so she was going on the Mathew Wright show, and as a trustee, I was able to go with her to support her. And also another advocate called Andrew, who's also had a transplant or multiple transplants. He's like a robot, and he lives the longest surviving heart and lung transplant. Back in 1985, he had a double lung transplant and a heart transplant. And he's also had a kidney like 17, 18 years ago. So he's like, I call him Bionic Man. Like, he's just incredible. It's amazing. So yeah, we went on the show, and I'll show you the little clip. I'll show it now.
Fantastic. And where is young lady?
Yeah, I had a double lung transplant 17 months ago. I'm like Kim, I have cystic fibrosis, and yeah, my lungs were pretty rubbish by the end of it. So.
Well, your thoughts on presumed consent?
On
presumed consent, do you think we should all be considered donors by the state?
I don't know if I agree with the opt-out system. I think it has benefits of it, but I think it's just most important to tell your family about your wishes. That's the most important thing, so everyone knows. So whether you're opt-in or opt-out, everyone knows what the situation is.
Well said. Well.
So that was a little clip of us on there. Typically, I got asked about the opt-out system. I mean, it was about the opt-out. I had to be very politically correct. No, that's not the right word. I have different views on. Didn't actually explain my views. I froze a little bit when he asked me. I didn't really know what to say. But I'll save that for another video because the opt-out isn't as simple as everyone's trying to make it out to be. So it is important you talk to your families about organ donation, because that is the most important thing, whether you opt in or opt out. Anyway, I said that already. So then we had good little photos. Mathew Wright was lovely. He was really nice, and Kim had told him about us, and I'd spoken to him over Twitter a couple of times. Lovely guy. So then after, obviously, my donor family and my story, me, Hannah and Natalie, Channel 5 were interested in us featuring on the news that night. So Hannah was free. Obviously, Natalie lives down in Devon, so it's not as easy for her to just commute into London like it is for me and Hannah. Hannah lives in Guildford, so it's not far. So we and Hannah jumped on a train, met each other at Waterloo, got each other I got some cheesy chili bites. I got some for Hannah, and then I ate them while I was waiting for her. I bought her some more. I was just like, sorry, Hannah. Anyway. we got a taxi to the studio. Yeah, and then there was a lady there that was really interesting and described organ donation as being sexy. Really pissed Hannah off, and to be honest, I was like, oh my god, this is awkward. This woman just needs to stop talking right now. But anyway, she carried on talking, and she loved talking. She loved hearing her voice. She was on the news after, talking about some 1950s and how it was a great life. And I don't really know. She's only about 40 odd, so she wouldn't have been alive then. But hey ho. And then, yeah, we went on and we met Matt, the presenter. We had our makeup done, which is so cool. I've never had my makeup done in like a studio like that with the little bulby lights. Then me and Hannah got all dolled up and we had a right laugh together, and then we went on. A really good piece. I'm going to show it to you after here. Actually, I'll show it to you now so you can see. And then, yeah.
When Georgina Compton was given a life-saving double lung transplant, she wanted more than anything to thank the people whose loss had given her a future. And she wrote to the family of her donor, and after getting an unexpected reply, she was able to actually thank them in person. Georgina joins me now alongside Hannah Windsor, who's the daughter of Georgina's donor, Jill Davis, who sadly passed away suddenly back in 2015, but without who Georgina may have never received a transplant, and many others as well, which we'll talk about in a moment. But Georgina, leading up to that moment when you had the transplant, it's something you've needed for pretty much your whole life.
Yeah, my whole life has probably been leading up to having a transplant. Yeah, I was very unwell the months and years leading up to it. I was on oxygen 24/7. I was in a wheelchair. Couldn't really do much for myself by the end of it. So.
And when you had it,
Yeah.
did life change very quickly?
Dramatically. Within weeks, I'd not been able to breathe my whole life. So being able to take a deep breath in, which seems so ridiculous and not important to anyone else, was just amazing to me. Being able to take a deep breath from the bottom of my lungs, it was incredible. Even just little things like blowing out a candle was just so exciting to me.
And Hannah, this came about because very sadly your mum Jill died of an aneurysm. She was only 51, but you knew that she wanted to donate her organs.
Oh, absolutely, yes. I believe she first registered kind of back in the 90s, and she actually registered again later on because she wanted to make sure that she is on the register should anything happen to her. So it's kind of, very close to her heart, it was.
And her selfless decision and your knowledge of that not only helped Georgina, but also helped 4 other people as well.
That's right, yeah, amazing.
But it was Georgina who wrote to you. What was it like getting a letter?
It was overwhelming, really. My dad showed me the letter back in January of last year, and it was incredible, really, to hear what a difference it had made to her life. Like she says, things that we take for granted, just going for a walk or just being able to breathe normally, like we don't even think about, was a struggle. And my mum has helped her to live her life as we all know it.
Georgina, why did you want to write? Because I know those 4 other people, it's entirely up to them, of course, who are recipients of organs from Jill, haven't decided to, but why did you want to?
I just felt that it was one of the most important things to do. I was days away from dying at the point. So the fact that someone has actually given me this life and a completely new life, I said, words will never ever describe how grateful I am to my donor, Jill. But I just wanted to let the family know how thankful I was that they'd all had that conversation and agree with Jill's wishes, which is the most important thing with organ donation.
A new life and some new friends into the bargain. Now, you met a while ago separately. You met Hannah and your sister Natalie together yesterday, all together for the very first time. What's the bond like? Let me ask you, Hannah, first. What's it like?
Almost like a family in a very strange way. It's kind of, I've started now to think of George as my other sister. George already you have like 2 other sisters, don't you? So I think you've got 2 more now.
Yeah.
But it's lovely. Although we've not known each other for very long, it feels like we've known each other for a very long time.
And you're quite close in age, and you also live not that far apart, even though your family come from, way out west in
Devon,
they're in Devon, but you actually both live near each other in Surrey.
Really, really weird. We didn't know that obviously until we'd exchanged letters and had a little bit more contact. But I think we're about 20 minutes away from each other, so it's very, very strange, but it's amazing. I mean, we did get on really well.
And I no one can really appreciate the emotions and the feelings that go through your mind at times like this. But what would you say to other people who are perhaps recipients of organs if it's crossing their mind to get in touch, or not, as the case may be?
I think it's so important that if you've received a transplant, I think, you know, however your emotions are around writing a letter or making contact, I think the most important thing is just to say thank you, even if it's just something little. I work for a charity called Live Life, Give Life, and we promote organ donation and transplants, and we are encouraging more of our recipients to write to the families, and because just we know how important it is to the donor families just to hear something nice.
Really pleased you could both come and talk to me.
Oh, thank you.
And you can see that how firm that friendship already is.
Yeah.
Right, what connects? So Cliff.
So that was the video, and yeah, I think we held it together quite well. Hannah was amazing. She spoke so eloquently, and like she's just so good at this. And yeah, the room was freezing. Then we got a photo together, and then yeah, so that's kind of what's been happening over the last. Well, it's Wednesday, and that all happened from Saturday, so it's all been a bit like, crazy. So yeah, I'm hoping this week might be a little bit more calmer. Although I've got my first team day for the charity, which I've partly organised, as this is my first time as a trustee meeting all the team together. So that would be great. Unfortunately, we haven't got the best turnout. A lot of people haven't been able to make it, but you know, it's people have other lives, and everyone doesn't get paid in the charity. We're all volunteers, so things can't be helped. So yeah, so I'm gonna go now, and I'm gonna go see my mum and my sister and give them a little spray tan and do their eyebrows, and come back and tidy the rest of the house, which is fun. And then get ready for, I'm doing a Segway on Friday with Veronica, and I cannot wait. We're so excited. She bought it as a present for me for my 30-year lung anniversary, and we haven't had a chance to get round to organising it. So what, that was like 6 months ago? No. Well, yeah, almost, yeah, about 6 months. Well, 5 months, 6 months ago. So we're going to have fun and do that, and I'm hopefully we'll post some videos on here. I'm going to bring my GoPro with me, so it should be good fun. But yeah, so I hope if it doesn't rain, 'cause it's been a bit, bleh, but sod it. Get a little bit wet. So I'm going to go now. Thank you for watching my video. Give it a cheeky like if you like it, or just watch it and just think, oh my god, never watching her again. Anyway, hope I look a bit prettier next time and not so rough. I'm going to try my nails. I like trying it. I'm going to get them done again because I fancy a bit of a change. Alright, see you later guys. Thanks for watching. Bye. My life was quite limited. I was left in an oxygen 24/7, wheelchair bound, unable to move out of bed most days. I was days away from dying before I had my transplant. A few weeks later, I was able to take a deep breath in. It was incredible. It was like better than winning lottery.
Hi. Mum was really just kind of the life and soul of everything.
She was just fun and vivacious and full of life.
She loved life. Meeting George, it puts that human, makes it real, puts that human face on it. But I don't know, it's difficult for me because when I met George, I didn't want to say anything that would potentially upset her. So it's tricky because I so desperately want my mum back, but I don't, you know, George wouldn't be here were it not for her.
To see the difference it had made to George's life in such a small space of time, and it was just so nice to hear something back, to hear that something positive had come from Mum's death.
I was expecting just, you know, thank you for the letter, have a nice life or something. I've got a lot of friends who have had transplants, but no one's had that much information. It makes it even more real, and to put a name and a person to what's happened, and just makes it even that more special. It was like we've known each other for years. We just clicked, I think.
There was no awkwardness.
No, there was nothing like that at all.
I mean, it was like we've known each other forever.
Organ donation is incredible anyway, no matter what happens. I think, you know, giving someone that second chance and the gift of life, it's incredible.